Hello, hello everyone. My name is John Kayode Avisi, and I'm a technology innovation leader. My portfolio sit at the intersection of cybersecurity and data services. Yeah, so today I am working on something that is very important when it comes to cloud security environment, and now I want to narrow it down to Azure cloud security environment. Now, the major thing we do in combating vulnerability management in cloud and Azure, for example, environment is ability to have a system or a platform that is responsive to change, that is able to allow for patching, allow for update, and keep moving. Like when security updates are released, there is a cadence in place, there is a process in place in your cybersecurity programs that allows you to to update, to patch, and to improve your security posture. So in Azure environment, there's one very important and critical tool that I want to show us today, and that is Azure Update Manager. So if you look at my screen, when you go to Azure Portal, you can just search from the search bar Azure Update Manager. So when you get to Azure Update Manager, you can just click on it and you can just take a quick look around of okay, what is going on here, these and that. And when you click on get started, you will see what we call a assign policy. You know, we have two ways of doing what we call automatic update here at scale. You can assign a policy. These are built-in policy for regularly checking if there is any update available for Windows infrastructure, whatever it is you have within your Windows and Azure portfolio. The other thing is that you can create schedule to install those updates. There's some depending on your environment, you can say, okay, this is how I want my updates to be, even if these updates are released, but this is how I want it to be installed, and that allows you to have a control, over that. So let's look at assign update. So if you look at assign update here, we have like five policies that allows you to to do what you want to do. One is to check periodic updates. I mean, to check periodically for updates. This, if you look at what we have here, it says configure periodic checking for missing system update on Azure virtual machines. You can set prerequisite for scheduling, recurring updates, and you can do what we call schedule recurring update using Azure Update Manager. Uh, you can say, okay, machine should be configured to periodically check for missing system update, configure periodic check for missing system update on Azure Arc enabled server. So these are the options you have when you want to set up your system or set up your programs for managing update and patch environment or and patch. So let's look at the first one here. So if you look at this, you see this is the policies defined in this file, and all I need to do, you might have some time, might take some time to look into it, is to come here and say assign policy. Now here I can ask the scope of this policy. I can say, okay, it should maybe affect tenant, root tenant. And I can say, okay, what subscription? I have some subscription, and I have some subscription here. So for me, it's pay as you go. And you can choose which resource group. We all know how Azure use resources to organize our resources. You can say, okay, from instance, I can say, okay, you should go to this resource group. And after doing that, I can say, okay, select. And that is done. If you want to exclude any of your resources from this particular patch or update, you can do that here. But for me, I don't want to do that today. And now you see policy definition. Configure periodic check for update. You can see the version. You can put some descriptions like for me, this is just test, and you enable policy enforcement, and you go to next. I love going to next so that we can see all the faces, list all the faces, and we go to next. So here we can create a remediation task. So um by checking that box, it allows you, said by default the assignment will only take effect on new created resources. You understand me? And that shows that if I implement this policy right now, new resources that is created in this environment or maybe in this group will be affected. But if I wanted to backtrack and backdated this to maybe existing infrastructure, I can just check this box and I will, move forward. System assign manage identity, and I will say next. From there, we can see if there's any non-compliance message, but if there is none, we can go to review and say create. So this is how to create a policy for checking your Windows or Microsoft portfolio infrastructure to see if there is any missing maybe update that needs to be applied to your environment.